Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. I'm coming to you from my parents' house in Nashville. I tried to figure out how to plug those outlets on the wall, but or to cover them up, but I couldn't. So they're with us in our meditation time today. So good to see everyone. I was just working on something within myself right before our meditation time. So it's kind of spinning around in my mind, doing a little journaling and so forth. So that's where my mind is at. And I was going to talk with us about an article I read this week about how breathing exercises during meditation make us happy. There's something about having that full breathing practice that just enlivens the mind-body system and lifts us up and just makes us feel better overall. I actually worked with someone one time years ago that in a meditation class and was saying just take 5 minutes every day and just breathe. Just watch your breath. Don't do any kind of interesting breathing practice. Don't stand on your head. Don't hold one side of your nose. Just breathe. Just breathe for 5 minutes. And I saw him several months later, and he said, I went to the doctor after a month of doing that breathing exercise, and my blood pressure went down 10 points. And the doctor asked me, what are you doing? I mean, that's great. What are you doing to make that happen? And he said, I don't know, I'm not doing anything different. He said, and then I finally figured out, oh, I've been doing that breathing for 5 minutes every day. And so the body really responds to that. I guess I'm going to talk about this more than I realized. So my mind has returned to present moment, present moment work. So that is good. So our breathing not only clears out our mind, it gives our brain a break from all of that chatter, but it makes us happy overall and it calms us down. And you probably know all of this since you're with me on a regular basis. And but I just thought that was wonderful that more more studies are coming out about that, and that will continue, I'm sure, for a very long time. And we're going to understand more and more about excuse me, about what meditation is doing within us over time. My meditation teacher, Jane Elizabeth Hart, has talked about how meditation opens up different parts of the brain, energy centers. She doesn't really talk about it like that. It's just more, there's more energy getting to the brain because the brain isn't, when we're thinking so much or emoting so much and focused on our problems that aren't as hard to solve as we make them a lot of times, you know, that energy is being used to hold something in place. It's used to hold our problem in place while we dance around it trying to figure out how to solve it. Not that our problems don't need to be solved, they certainly do, but being able to step back and open up to see a bigger picture and to see our problem not from here, but from here. Much more, a solution is more easily found when we are able to step back from it and look at the bigger picture and not see it as everything in our world or everything that we are is wrapped up in this problem that we have right now. It's just not true. So meditation is that practice of stepping back and letting it go, giving the mind a break from whatever's going on, and letting us clear the air so that we can come back to the problem and find a better solution, be able to look around it, or maybe we just have a feeling to go ask somebody else or to look up something online and find out a different way to look at it. So there's lots of different input we can have when we're not holding on so tightly. And if you can imagine, if you hold on to something so tightly, all the muscles are tensed. And, when we're thinking about something, all of our brain energy is going towards it. And when we can let that go, the rest of our brain is freed up to help us out. We get into that rational mind, that thinking part of the brain. We call it the prefrontal cortex, which is our office manager. And that office manager gets in there and tries to solve our problems and come up with a solution. And there's only a little tiny part of the brain. And that part of the brain doesn't communicate well with the rest of the brain. I guess we're talking about brains today. So our prefrontal cortex is the rational part of the mind. It takes in information from our senses and makes decisions around it. But we have this whole other part of the brain, which is everything else, that is also taking in information and is more receptive to everything going on around us than the part of our brain that's responsible for thinking about things, consciously thinking about things. So that unconscious part of our brain that's taking in everything we experience, taking in everything from our senses, taking in even the vibes we're getting from people or situations or even things around us. It's taking all that in and carrying it around. And all of that input is influencing our decision making anyway. So when we're in our prefrontal cortex, we're not open to how it's influencing us. Is it influencing us in a beneficial way? Is it influencing us in a negative way, or not a destructive necessarily, but a not constructive way? And we want to be able to be aware of that, but we can't be aware of it if we're just focused on, oh my gosh, this problem is so big and I need to figure it out and I don't know how to figure it out. And we step back and we say, okay, there's always a solution. There is always a solution. Even if the solution is, don't worry about it, let it go. There's always a solution. And so this practice of meditation we do, and like the article is saying, this breathing, where we are able to calm the whole mind-body system, and it lifts us, it lightens us up, and then we're able to go back into our world and solve the challenges that are there from a more whole self of us than we were trying to before when we're so focused on it. So anyway, I'm sure nothing you didn't already know, but it's just nice to be reminded of that. So if anything is on your mind, and we're just going to let it go during our meditation time and take a step back and just trust your inner self, that beautiful brain of yours is receiving what it needs to receive and is open to being inwardly directed to a different way of looking at whatever it is in your life right now that's up for you. So I just invite you to take a couple of deep breaths and get comfortable in the place where you're sitting, if you're not already. And if there is anything that is taking up a lot of your mind space right now, any relationship or situation, any challenge you might be working with right now, just invite you to see it in your hands before you. You can even put your hands out in front of you and just visualize that problem, that situation, that person, whatever it is. Visualize it in your hands right now and surround that situation with love, with knowing that there's an answer, there's a solution. We're going to take that situation, we're just going to put it on the side right now. Just put it next to you. Just going to lay it down and be present with our breath right now. Just going to clear that inner space. Breathe from the belly using the diaphragm, that muscle. It's under the ribs and above the stomach. It helps us breathe, helps regulate a deeper breathing, even without taking lots of air in. The breathing can be deeper when we're doing it from the belly instead of using the chest muscles to breathe in that air. If it helps you to count, that can help focus the mind sometimes. Then do that, breathing in to the count of 4, breathing out to the count of 4. Making sure your belly's expanding as you breathe in and relaxing back toward the spine as you breathe out. No need to force it. Just being aware of your breath coming in through the belly is enough to regulate those breaths. Finding your own rhythm. And feel your body being filled with this fresh air. Clearing away any tension that that situation might have been building. Sometimes that tension can even be so subtle we don't even realize that it was there until we focus on letting it go, taking a step back. And in this clarity, we more easily feel that center of us. It's clear and strong. Even in its strength, we relax more into it. So find that place in you right now where your center feels the strongest. Maybe it's your heart space or your bottom in the chair, your hands in your lap. And just let your attention rest in that center. In this inner space, our stress dissolves as there's a peaceful knowing that all is well. No matter what happens or what's going on or what might be coming on the outside, on the inside, all is well. Because we are here today, we've proven that over and over and over again. All the difficulties we've been through, we've lived through, ups and downs, lefts and rights. And here we are together on a quiet meditation time. What abundance that is to acknowledge that everlasting peace that's been with us the whole time. And when thoughts arise, which they will, just see how they dissolve in this presence. There's nothing that can disturb the calm peace of our center. There's nothing, it's always been there. Feel that peace all around you. It's circling you. And I invite you to just let that situation that we started with, let it feel the peace that you're feeling now. Let that piece of your center just ooze all over that problem, that situation, that challenge. No need to start thinking about it. Just let it dissolve it. To dissolve the angst, the stress, the worry, the anger, whatever it is that it elicits from you. And feel in your very center that there is a beautiful solution. We are open and receptive to all the different ways we can be open to those answers, open to those solutions. And we can look at that situation in a new way with curiosity, with receptivity, with confidence and trust that it will be resolved. We take this light, this peace, this curiosity and confidence with us into our day, into our week, with anything that comes up for us. All those ups and downs in life will be there, and we bring our peace to it. We bring our openness, our receptivity, our equilibrium. And equilibrium is one of my favorite words. It was my word for my year last year. Just balance no matter what's happening around us. Steadiness no matter what the ups and downs are. When we bring that with us, that equilibrium with us into the week. If you can continue meditating, I invite you just to stay where you are and be in that peace. Return to your breath if it's helpful. If you need to go about your day like I do, then take a couple of deep breaths and just feel your awareness back in your body. Just kind of do an internal head scan or body scan head to toe and just feel your energy back into every cell of your body, feet grounded on the floor, Another deep breath as we go about our day and our week. Thank you for being here with me today. I needed you. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.